Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2025 Derby City Classic. We are having some fun here at Caesars, Southern Indiana. Behind me, nearly 500 players have registered in banks, 9-ball, 1 pocket. This here is an invitation-only event. It is the Diamond Bigfoot 10-ball challenge, played on this beautiful Diamond 5x10. 16 of the greatest players on the planet and single elimination action. Round 1, match 1, and time to find out who is moving on to the top 8. First up, he's a Bucharest 9-ball Open champion, European 9-ball Open champion, and Nordic 10-ball champion. He's from Copenhagen, Denmark. Make some noise for the Viking, Mickey Krause. And his opponent is a 2007 World Champion runner-up, the International Open 1 pocket champion, and the 2018 Derby City Bigfoot champion. Sponsored by J Flowers, Bogies Billiards, and Leb 91. From Zamboanga, Philippines, the Superman, Roberto Gomez. We're lagging for the break. Our referee, Ricky Bryan. And sending it up to the ACCUSTATS skybox.
Greetings, everybody. The Bigfoot pool table is a 5x10, and this is my absolute favorite event. I'm Mark Wilson. We are honored to have pro player Scott Frost here with us today. Scott, we know Roberto Gomez. Tell us a little something about Mickey Krause.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Mickey Krause, in my opinion, probably the most improved player of the year. I think he was voted that as well through Matchroom, so going to be a heck of a show to watch these two players. I think you could pretty much say it's anyone's pick here, Mark.
Yeah, Mickey Krause really came on last year. He had, he was number 7 in the money list. Let's see, $150,000. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's got some great finishes this year. Won the European Open there in Fluta. Beat Johan Chua 13-8 in the final. He's also made the Reyes Cup in Manila, and then qualified for the Mosconi Cup here in Orlando, Florida, in the United States. Europeans went on to defeat the United States in that event.
This is a race to 10, alternate the break. Krause has won the lag, so that means he'll be breaking in the first rack, and should it go to the rack 21, he'll have the break in the last rack. Right, let's see, that'd be rack 19, wouldn't it?
Gonna get a good look at his break here, Mark. We were just talking off screen. They don't play a lot of 10-foot pool.
4-ball found the pocket. The 3-ball tracked all the way around the table. Good start, a good look at the 1, but the 2 is in an ugly spot. Get positioned on.
Yeah, I think he'd even be thrilled. Not that he's going to try it, but I think he'd even be thrilled to be anywhere out in the center, just above the 9, where he can just figure something out. The ball becomes much more missable, the 1, if you try to come 3 rails. You see the traffic with the 7 and 8, so I don't know that he can come 2 rails. Just looking at the 2-rail line now, that 8 seems to be a big ball to make that line.
Right. You kind of figure he might try to go inside, spin 3-rail it, or just cinch it and play a pre-planned safety on the 2. Well, he's trying to get by it. Oh, what a shot that was. Get by that 7-ball between the side pocket, the 8 and the 7.
Yeah, no question. He dug deep to avoid him, came long of both of those balls. Didn't even think it was possible. This opens everything up for him now. He can track into the green 6 if he'd like.
One thing players are mindful of is they don't want to billiard that up right under the rail right next to the side pocket. They want to hit it hard enough to get it free or not to that rail. Okay, he didn't have the shot that we thought maybe he'd earned. So he played a nice safety there.
Yeah, his body language is telling me that he did have the shot, so he kind of fooled us there just a little bit. Nice play.
Is he hopping over the 5-ball here? Yeah, he was. What an interesting shot. A rail, into the rail, hop over the 5. Nice kick.
Yeah,
nice
we don't
touch.
see that too often
No.
this early, do we? Or ever?
Yeah, the way he was lining up on that, the angle he was aiming on, I'm like, well, that's not going to go by. Oh, he's jumping it. I see. Pretty heady play. Made a hit.
And so the 7 here causes a slight elevation in the back arm. Got to stay real true to this. If he wants to cut it, it's all about the speed. Really a flat ball, just a top center ball here, if he decides to do that.
Just going to float it 2 cushions, side rail, side rail. Oh, he overhit it.
Yeah, at that speed, Mark, I'm wondering if he meant to come all the way back down here, or he just did overhit it. We'll never know.
Well, I think the speed, he felt more comfortable cutting the ball in.
Right.
And he knows he can protect himself if he overruns position, but just don't hang up that ball. I think that was the priority there, not make an unforced error. Here he can just play a safety by putting the 5 ball in the end rail, let the cue ball track down behind the 9. He played the bank. Can't fault him there. It might have even turned out okay.
Yeah, and I think that's why he played it. I don't know. I think Roberto can get it to 5, but like Mark said, you can't fault him there for taking the bank on. It was a pretty big pocket, guaranteed position. And he's kicking at this, so he doesn't have a clean look.
2 rails. That way he gets separation and can score it. The speed was nice if you missed the 5 ball. The speed wasn't nice if you make the 5 ball.
Yeah, now he's forced to go cross table. It's a big ball to scratch off of. He'd like to go into this ball first, meaning the green 6, because of where the 9 is at. Well, he's just
What a shot. What a shot. World-class pool.
Just going to kick them all in from here.
Golly. 50 square feet of play area. 9-footers have 40.5 square feet, so it's a big difference. It's 25% larger, 35% more difficult. Now he's let that cue ball get away here, Scott.
Yeah, a little quick, really. Just kind of punched at it. Can get trickier, let's not forget, like Mark said, it's a 10-foot table. So this shot is...
Yeah, these are the shots that really extract the toll on you. Clean hit, but hung it up. Yeah, that's the thing. On the 9-footer, he's good all day from here because that still falls in. But on the 10-footer, that little extra space, and this is what happens.
Yeah, and really just a touch careless there to get where he landed on the 8.
Exactly. After he made such a wonderful two kick shots, unbelievable shots.
And it's something you're not going to see from the guy at the table rarely now. Like I said, most improved player of the year on the WNT. He's really come up at 24 years old. This is the first rack of the Derby City Classic, so nerves could be a little bit at play for both players.
Very hard to overcut this ball. And you'd rather miss it on the thin side if you did miss. Nice hit. Hit the heart of the pocket. 1-0, Krause. I really think what Scott said, too, about just a little careless. It was an unforced error, not getting a little better position on the 8 after he made 2 fantastic shots. There was just a hint of a letdown in the cue ball in this brand new Simonis. A little slick, got away, went an extra 10 inches further than he really wanted to be.
Yeah, and you said it right. It's the new cloth. You really do have to be careful in that aspect because it will just drift away from you. Let's get a look at Roberto Gomez.
The 3 and the 8, right behind the 1, those are the balls they try to find into the side pocket. The 9 and 7, they track around the table. Sometimes we'll find the corner. All right. Nothing so far. So, got some ball action there. Just didn't get a ball to go into the pocket.
Yeah, and this is a little bit more common on a 10-foot. Does he go at this, Mark? I think the defensive play is really good, right? He's got a big wall over here with the 3, 9, 5, and 8. He could bank the 1 towards, let's say, the 10 and draw over. He could just chip the 1 rail towards the bottom of the 10 and come over. I don't know. Is there any benefit to staying aggressive here?
Yeah,
or he could just stay there and use the 2, right, Mark?
Yeah, he's looking at possibly putting the 1 down behind the 10 and just park the cue ball there. But I like something just a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side because this isn't going to be good enough with Gomez to keep him from hitting it.
Yeah, he's most likely going to get the hit. He got a little fortunate not catching the 10 a little thinner.
Right. Could have easily sold out a shot. Not an easy one, but a long shot. Straight topspin. Nice hit. And Krause is going to be rewarded with a good shot from his defensive play.
Yeah, he just wants to come out a couple feet if he can. And he's just going to cinch it. Now the problem is the 4, right? He's elevated over the 4 now. And the 3, this is definitely tricky.
No, he really didn't do much with that ball. He needed to be another foot closer to the 2 to be able to handle the cue ball really nice. He's going to make a pretty big shot here. Now his speed's off. It was all because it was really, that was an unforced error. He could have did something so much more aggressive.
On the 1.
Yes.
Right? He could have pinched back a couple feet. Then you don't have that steep angle.
Right.
Good to the 3. Now, going to the defensive side.
Yeah, well, the good news is he did keep his head down and make the 2 ball. Now he's double kissed it, trying to play safe with an extension on his cue. So, all right, a couple unforced errors here early on.
Yeah, big reach there for Krause. 10-foot table. Is he forced to play the 5-9, or can he pinch this back and do something with it? I don't think he wants to play the 5-9 from there, do you?
Well, you don't want to, but sometimes that's the most likely. Yeah, he rubbed the rail.
Yeah, he caught the 4 a little thin. That's how the cue balls ended out more towards the center. Makes this combination that much more difficult.
Good shot. Good recovery shot there. Nice speed. Controlled the 5 ball well.
Yeah, and the speed's what allowed the 9 to actually drop, I believe. Speed was well. Might have to track 3 rails getting to the 7 if he just goes forward to play the 6 in the side. Let's see what he decides. He's going to elevate.
Oh, nice. Now the ball just gets the slight wrong angle every time once you get a little out of line here.
Yeah, it just makes it tough. Or does he try to come down 1 rail or take the distance on the maroon 7?
Well, you called it. He took the distance on this. Just make this ball, let the cue ball go down 2 cushions and back up towards the center of the table. This shot does not play well if you try to slow roll it. Oh, it might be. He might be slow rolling it. Let's see. Did he get it? Oh, he did. Nice shot.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to land dead straight here. And I think he's going to be all right. Another foot, he could have been trickier. Even 6 inches, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can pinch it back and beat the side pocket. Oh, what a big punch stroke there.
Okay, look at this. Cue ball. Cue ball. Woo. 1-1.
Yeah, he got that a lot thicker than he expected.
1 game apiece as we head into 3.
What a dandy table this is, and the equipment. But this place is just excellent every year here. The Diamond Bigfoot. 1-piece slate. 10-foot table.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when you're down on the ball on that there table, she does look a little different than the 9-foot.
One day I was doing a broadcast up here, and I was going to go down and demonstrate the we just had a few minutes, so I was showing
Yeah.
people how to lag. And I'd been up here for 3 days, and I got down there on that thing. It looked like the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. When I looked down there, I happened to hit it okay. And I go, I'm not going to show you that again now.
Yeah, it really is a sight to behold in person when you're standing next to the table.
And there's a little pressure. 1-1 is our score. Superman, nice one out there. Krause squares him up nicely. Look what an ugly kiss that was on the cue ball. Did make a ball. Hit the cue ball right in the center and got kissed almost into the scratch.
Yeah, it's something these players are always trying to figure out. Is how an object ball on the break shot doesn't come back and kiss the cue ball. Believe it or not, they'll make adjustments according to that. What do you like, Mark? Does he just chip the 1 and come down and use the 3, 8, and 10? Also,
Yeah,
use
if you
the
can
2.
make that. Yeah, I like that a lot. You can take a little chance on the safety because the 3 is going to be really tough to get on. So if you mess up the safety slightly, no problem. Effortless. Great job.
No, and look at how he got through the ball really nice and tight with the defensive play there. Use the 2, use the 10. This is trouble for Gomez.
You know, you have to get a rail after you hit the 1, but what you want to be mindful of is not dislodging that 3 on this shot. Like hitting into the 1 and blast it and then have the 2 go down and open up the 3.
Sure.
You're almost better off to just take a foul and not open up the 3.
Yeah, extremely difficult there. He's been successful kicking so far, but this time he relinquishes ball in hand. Mickey, what do you do, Mark? Do you potentially put him in the 3 foul position?
Well, that's certainly a consideration because of the 3. It's so tough to get on, even if you do, with ball in hand, have the 1 getting on the 2. He's looking to see if it goes. Maybe that's clear. Then you want to play offense. You can't fool around and wait.
Yeah, and with the 2 being right there next to the 1, it's really difficult to pass up the defensive move.
You're right. You can pin him right to the 2 and have great control with that.
He's going to pass it up. He's going to stay aggressive. He can play the safety down the road, obviously, if needed. But he must think he can get on the 3.
Well, the position he played suggests the 3 goes straight in, so he wouldn't have wanted that angle if it doesn't.
Just watch out for the 5 here. Going towards the 5. I don't believe.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot. Couldn't have put it with ball in hand any better. Oh, miss. It's almost like he was avoiding the 8, making sure he didn't make a bad hit or something.
Yeah, well, all along it looked to me like the 8 was really in his mind. It was definitely nice and tight to the 3. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse for Krause. And he'll take this.
Yeah, that's all he could do. He had to make an open hit, and he didn't scratch. He's happy. Krause has to play from this distance anyway.
Really, this shot here is something you don't want to overhit. The pocket will reject the ball. Nice and smooth there, but overcut. Probably a result of that fresh cloth.
Well, he missed it on the pro side. You don't want to miss it fat there, because if you miss it on the thin side, you can come out like this.
Yeah, I just did a video, actually, on that subject. And like Mark said, missing it on the pro side, that's really where it needs to be if you're going to make the miss.
Going for the bank. It came up short on brand new cloth from that obtuse type of an angle. You just don't figure it to go short.
Yeah, this rail first is looking tricky. We had a good look straight down the pipe. There it is.
Gonna have to curve it a little bit. Soft speed. I don't think he can get on the 5 if he does make this.
Wow.
He did. He got a lot out of that.
Yeah, he got it as good as he could.
Bad call, Wilson.
Everything had to be perfect there in order for that ball to have time to take.
Yeah, they make it look so easy. And meanwhile, if the speed's not right, you don't have enough spin, you don't judge the cloth well enough. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with that shot. Oh my goodness, he hit that good.
Well, this is the value of a diamond table. Deeper pockets, deeper shelves. You've got to hit the ball clean.
I think the 5x10, that goes on the 9-footer. This is so much of a better test for these players. This is an invitational event. You have to be a top-ranked player. And on paper, I was looking at their Fargo ratings. 1 point difference, like 7. Well, let's just say 7. Was it 789? Yes, 789 for Gomez, 788 Krause. I mean, couldn't be any fairer.
Yeah, and without knowing their Fargos, I really had this as a pick as well. So I don't see a lot of difference between these two players, although I feel like Mickey has had a little bit more of the pressure under him in the last year with his performances.
Oh, yeah, nobody's going to take him lightly. Those days are over. Two to 1 now, Gomez in front.
Yeah, and I mean, touching on that, right, Mark? When you're in an environment like the Mosconi Cup, and you of all people know, as a player, once you get out of that environment, really there's nothing that matches that pressure level, right? So everything becomes a little bit easier for a player that's been through that, right? First he goes to Manila for the Reyes Cup, then to Orlando for the Mosconi Cup. And things just get a little bit better. Well, now, we don't know how he's going to perform this year because we're in a new year, but you've got to expect him just to continue to grow.
Yeah, you'd have to be very complacent to not expand when you're 24 years old and got your future ahead of you. If you're not working on your game right now, when did you plan on doing it? But you can see just the way he's going here that it's clearly a guy that's in stroke. He just missed that ball last time just due to the 5x10 and probably the lack of ever getting an opportunity to even play on one. And Gomez laid into those pretty solidly.
Boy, he sure did, and he killed that cue ball about 6 foot back from the spot. Got the 1 down in the top corner. Really tricky on the 2 here. Even the defensive play is a little awkward.
Yeah.
Can chip it to the bottom rail.
Going to push out.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough either way. Did he snooker himself on the push out? It's close. He's laughing.
Yeah. Really, that was a kind of a careless push out. You want to do something more productive. You could have put the 4 down on the end rail or something and got the cue ball in the same place. You want to at least tie something up. You're going to be the underdog, and then to push out and hook yourself, that's embarrassing.
No, and I like what you called there, putting the 4 onto the top rail right there might have been a play.
Nice recovery shot, though. Pretty heady. Oh, ugly. If it clips either one of those 2 balls, he's looking like that doesn't even fit through there. But it's amazing where that cue ball will go.
It is amazing, and actually, like you said, really heady play there, knowing that that cue ball's got an option to get behind the 9 and 4.
But realistically, that did stem from a poor push out.
Agreed. Yeah, he really just made his issue a little bit worse from where he was.
And now Krause blessed with a great scoring opportunity here. Everything's out free and open.
Yeah, it's a must-take advantage. There's no doubt. Really, the 4 to the 5 seems to be the only challenge, and I don't know that that's even a challenge. Well, it's not anymore.
Purposely collided into the 5 ball, moving it up so it's free and clear of the 10 so we can play it in any of the pockets.
Going forward here.
Really Very smooth delivery there. Did not flinch at all. Kept his body super still. Hit the heart of the pocket. Speed control is spot on then.
Same thing here. Yeah, I thought he might just float forward a little bit more. I think he's fine. He's got a good line to just come out towards the 9. Obviously not that far. Is this a stretch?
Well, that's for sure. But he's a tall, lanky guy. I think he can reach it okay. Great shot.
Yeah, he's so clean with that flat cue ball. Just a center high ball, nothing special. Uses it often, Mickey. And like you said, Mark, this is kind of stemming from the initial push out from Roberto Gomez. Really pushing out to a tougher position than he was immediately after the break. Handled this like a professional.
He was never in trouble. A very clinical run out there. Ties the score at 2 games apiece.
And we're all tied up once again.
Really, what wins these pool matches is unforced errors. Who makes the most unforced errors? And I'm going to have to give Gomez an unforced error on the push out. We expect better than that. That was a little bit careless, a little carefree, and that was also the same unforced error that he made on that 8 ball when he didn't get position earlier in the set.
No, and I like your call, right? 9 times out of 10, you'll see these top players put another ball in a bad spot, right? Or do something just to make it a little bit more difficult down the road so that there's more pool left to play within the game. He didn't do any of that. Got himself in bigger trouble.
Well, when you grow up in the Philippines playing rotation, push out is not a thing. And so some of us grew up playing push out all the time on every ball. So you understand you're the underdog. You understand you got to make the guy fight to get the game. You can't leave a clean run out like that where Krause can just go ball to ball and play. If he plays well, he's getting out. Good break there, a little better power.
Yeah,
7 ball, tracked 4 rails.
Can he make the 1? I believe he can, but the cue ball
Yeah.
really going the wrong direction here.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get that cue ball. The clutter is just in the road. You can't just go natural. You can't just say, well, I'll just put a little running English on this and smooth this in there. It won't get there.
Can he check it up off the second rail or the bottom rail and come between the 3 and 10?
But then the accuracy, that's the issue with it. You know, you start to lose accuracy when you throw a bunch of inside on here. You can overcut this 1 trying to do that. He went for it. Just what you said.
Yeah, he decided to play it safe and kill it short of the 3 instead of trying to work between those balls, and the 2 must pass.
He never had position to the last 4 inches, you know, and then they just got there. So fantastic shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's all a matter of how clean the 2 plays here and whether he can really put some power into it to get to the 3.
If he can just get past the side pocket. Nice.
Oh, yeah, he created a better angle there.
What happened here? Oh, he got perfect. Man, this would really be punishment for that careless push out if he gets out here now. That's a huge swing.
You just want to avoid the 8. He's done well.
Even in the previous rack when he got tangled up on the 3 ball and he missed after he made such a good position shot, you know, I mean, he's created some position plays that weren't natural here at all.
No, definitely had to earn it so far. Does he just stop here and take the 2 rail line towards the 9? Guys will play patterns a little bit different on the 10-foot table. Yeah, notice here.
He got real straight.
I think that was intentional. He feels more comfortable just drawing out. Better settle.
Good. That is the one thing about the 5x10. You have a little bit more liberal area to get positioned in. Like you said, he maybe overhit it slightly, but now you just float this in there. Real clean strike.
Yeah, and when he gets that cue back, it's really a one stroke. He's got a nice pause at the cue ball. But you can really tell when he starts to get comfortable.
And first breaking run out of the set here. And that's the supreme punishment for an unforced error right there, is to lose a game and then the guy breaks and runs out right behind it. Man, that gives him some serious momentum and comfort on the table.
Yeah, it just feels to me like Mickey should be up a few more games, but we're still close. Almost knotted up at 3-2. Gomez breaking the balls. Krause, he is a man of not too many different faces.
Yeah.
He's a stone-faced guy.
I kind of like that because you don't want to empower your opponent where they feel real comfortable either, you know, and I think it's kind of, you're totally into the game. There's a subliminal message that goes to your opponent that you're here to win.
Oh, geez, he's really getting into him.
He has a great break when he has tons of power. Got an ugly kiss there. Now Gomez, he's the most cheerful, typical Filipino, singing, having fun, laughing, carrying on. And I think sometimes that contributes to some unforced errors, but I also think it contributes to some pressure shots that other guys struggle on that he makes somewhat effortlessly.
Yeah, and this shot here could build his confidence if he can knock it down.
Oh, boy, what a nice hit. What a nice hit that was.
A little flinch in the back arm there. He tends to do it at times.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes his mechanics fall apart just a little bit, but boy, he is a tough customer.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
He won this event in 2018, as Derek mentioned earlier.
You know, forced with the long ball. Key here is not to try to overpower it. It can result in a miss. Just a nice, smooth delivery here.
Good look at his mechanics there from the side. Oh, beautiful shot. What a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Great hit there. He's come with two nice shots so far in this rack.
Floats the 7-1-7 home, and now picked up a little hint of an angle.
Does he come to the second rail? Most likely. I guess he could hold it for one rail. Oh, he had bigger angle than it looked. Much bigger angle than it looked.
Good speed.
Now in a stretching.
Yeah. Here's where the 5x10 takes a toll. But you know, it's the oddest thing. This was the standard up until the late 1950s, 5x10s everywhere. And the best players were Mosconi and Jimmy Krause and Luther. I mean, these guys, they're all short guys. They're not tall, lanky. Like you'd think the 5x10 would be better. Yeah, no, the best players were short, partly because their cue, the hands are shorter together, so they don't get the wobble in their long shot making.
Yeah, Gomez has handled this rack with class.
I want to make sure you cash this in now. This would be a break and run out right back. Okay, 3-3. Couple quality racks there now.
Match here, 3-3 now. If you can hear my voice, welcome again to day one of the Derby City. Some fun improvements this year you'll notice around.
We have a nice opening round crowd here. This is Friday afternoon.
Next Sunday. This final will happen on Monday evening of the top 16.
4 days of Bigfoot action. 4 matches for 3 days in a row, and then the last day is just 3 matches. This is a single elimination, $1,000 entry fee event, invitational only.
Both these guys breaking the balls well.
Eight ball tracking. So he's made that 2 or 3 times already, that corner ball around the table.
Yeah, the 3 down as well, the 7 and 4 covering the cue ball up.
Something that we didn't mention, and I was unable to attend the player meeting last night, but historically the Bigfoot never allows a jump cue. So that's something to bear in mind.
Well, I am a fan of that rule.
And I presume that's still the case. I always try to attend the player meeting because I always feel so bad when they have a rule change and I'm calling something that wasn't there. But anyway, it happened last night. I got in too late. I came down right after the draw.
So, instantly return from Gomez. Possibly a little extreme on the push out here. This is not easy. What's he got up his sleeve?
I think he's just banking the 1 ball down table and playing the cue ball over there behind the clutter. No, he hit it too heavy for that.
Yeah,
he didn't quite get to the clutter.
Right. He was pretty steep on that where he couldn't really get the cue ball and the 1 away at the same time. It seemed like it was either going to be one or the other. This is the result.
Yeah, you have to push out even a challenging safety because your opponent knows the safeties in the offense just as well as you do. So you have to put yourself in a predicament.
Yeah, big power stroke there, but he caught it a little bit heavy, I think. And he probably could have put a little bit of low on it. He had a real flat ball. He's got to play safe here. Yeah, I don't know. Is he going to find the window? I think Mickey can get behind the 2 at worst.
These guys kick with such speed control that they give themselves a real chance to get safe from these predicaments.
Well, believe it or not, Mickey did play to spin the cue ball back off the 2 down to this area. Like Mark just touched on, there is no jump cue, so Gomez pulling out the protractor.
Measuring up with his kicking system. As long as you're mindful about, you can scratch, but you'd have to hit it pretty hard. And I think if you go soft, now you got the clutter of the 4 or 5 to help you if you miss the 2, which is the likely result.
Yeah, he's floating this, or is he going to use a low ball? Pretty good, really.
And that took a lot of care to get all that. You shouldn't just get up there and hack at it and have this result. You got to play a pretty nice shot.
Yeah, and these guys play to catch the top side of the ball like that. Can Mickey chip the 2 thin enough. Really steep here. Really steep.
Yeah, he recognizes that cue ball's going to float long on him. New gloss, slippery. Then it comes down to, you want to try to introduce a little inside to stiffen it up, or you're going to play it a different way. Maybe you can hit enough of the 2 and just go across the face of it. Yeah.
Yeah, good call there.
They had to concede something. It's going to have to concede a long shot here. So Gomez rewarded from his nice kick that he made.
Yeah, and this is really the shot mark, right? It's this down. Everything else opens wide up. Ooh. A definite mishit. A little fortunate he mishit it so bad that he almost scratched in the top right.
And then hit the point and kind of got it in the ugly spot here. Get back down there. He's grinning. That was never an easy ball, but it was a shot that we're often see Roberto get.
Yeah, I mean, he's, in my opinion, supposed to make that at least 80% of the time. Really. Another nice kick from Krause.
Yeah, really good.
Oh, look at this.
What a shot. What a shot.
This is 3 different balls he's kicked in off at least the first rail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's remarkable. We played 6 racks. He's made 3 awkward kick shots already on a 5x10.
Still a little tricky. He's going to have to run into the 5 here.
Nice.
You know, that natural position that we play on a 9-footer becomes a lot different on this table. You don't consider the stretch.
You're right. Once it goes past, once you're on one end rail and the cue ball's on the other side of the side pockets, it really becomes treacherous. Gomez carving through a nice rack here.
Yeah, great recovery from the miss on the 4.
Yeah, this is all stemmed from that great kick shot, and that was, oh my goodness, I thought Krause couldn't have played it any better, and then to lose from there. 4-3.
And after a bit of a slow start, both players smoothing things out.
Just like that, Gomez
Match after
in the
7
lead.
racks, 4 games to 3.
Scott, you've been doing some teaching, right?
I have, Mark. Yeah, I've been doing it actually pretty quietly over the last about a year and a half, but now it's like really taking off, Mark. And I'm starting to come into my own a lot more. I'm learning more about myself, learning more about the game. And I'm sure you can attest to that. You've been teaching your whole life. But the more you teach, the more you learn yourself. And I think it's a beautiful thing for myself because I'm actually learning so much as I go.
Yeah. No, it's a worthwhile pursuit because you've never mastered a topic until you become capable of teaching it. And like you're saying, sometimes you have to show this guy, you have to explain it to this guy, you have to let this guy read it, and then you have to use different words with different people. And then patience, which is never Mark Wilson's middle name, but has to be in trying to instruct someone that's, well, it's just so hard.
I
so
think
hard.
you've got incredible patience. You know?
Well, you didn't know me when I was 18.
Sure.
I'd want to break this
right.
cue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking to the same guy.
Yeah, when I was 18, it was not Mark Patience Wilson for sure.
Right. Big break coming up here.
Okay.
Miss hit.
Yep. When it goes off the side of the rail, you mishit the head ball. And that was trying to lodge in a little extra.
Yeah, they make it look easy, Mark, these guys, when they're breaking the balls and how square they hit them. But it is not easy. It's something else we talk about when we're teaching. And really, the focus is more on the accuracy of how square you're hitting them versus the power. You've got to have accuracy before power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like hitting a tee shot in golf. If you just hit it hard and it doesn't go straight, it really doesn't help you.
5 is tricky. But the 4 is low. That does help the 5.
Yeah, you're always emboldened because you know you're going to be close to the 5, so you can still defend yourself with a decent safety if you don't get just right on the 4 to get position on the 5.
So he's chose to stay above the 9 here, getting to the 3, I believe. I don't see any other reason to dig below the 5 here with the 2. Is he going into the 9?
No, I wouldn't think so. You know, he opened up to 5. I don't know if he was really trying that, but it couldn't have worked out better, so perhaps he was.
Yeah, I think he was playing that, Mark.
Well, that certainly frees up the rest of the run.
that's one of those shots you've got to be at the table to really feel what's happening.
Well, it was a great execution. I mean, it was textbook.
Yeah, from our perspective, just hard to call something like that.
Yeah, I think he still is okay here. I think he's ideal. Just a hint of an angle going towards the 7.
Yeah, pretty much perfect.
I don't know if you ever feel like this, but sometimes psychologically the guy makes an unforced error, like the scratch on the break there. It's not like he got kissed in. He bounced it down there and hit the one ball off center. You know, if you cash this in, it's like a dagger in their heart. You know, it starts to take, it's like body blows or something.
Absolutely.
Boxing.
Yeah, and it could make a big difference. He got much steeper than he wanted to be here. He can go to the side pocket with the 8. Oh, this is beautiful.
Good recovery shot. But you just feel like, you know, those things compound. And because when you look back over this set, Roberto got a little lazy on the 8 ball, a little lazy on the push out, and then now a little bit of a careless break. And then there's 3 games. And Krause has won 3 games. So those were the 3 games. And now this. This would be a 4th game. The other game that Krause won, break and run out. 4-4 is our score now.
Good play here late. Thanks, tied back up.
Yeah, and at what point can you continue to keep those errors out of your mind, right? That's kind of what Mark's touching on. Especially jumping the cue ball off the table on the break. You just don't see it too often. Does it affect Gomez going forward?
On paper, both players are equal, so it's just going to be who gets the best starting positions to run from, you know, and then you got to cash those in when you get them. You can't gunfight with your adversary every rack because it's 50-50.
Yeah, and they really are equal. Equal in the match. Basically equal in their Fargos.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, 4-4, we're going to 10.
Mickey, a little less power, I think, on the break, but really the power's not what's so necessary. It is the accuracy.
He's been making that 7 ball every time. Made the 1 on the side. How's the 7 ball?
Well,
Trickled in.
How do you hit these? And as soon as I say a little less power, he unleashed.
That's going to be a bank shot to start things off here, right?
He's got a good look at the cut mark.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, the 1. I thought the 1. I'm looking at the 2. Sorry.
No, you're good. No problem. He's natural here. Just come up towards the center.
Uh-oh. He's ideal. I was looking, he had to stiff that 2 ball in. Didn't know if he wanted to try to stuff that in there from that far away. And now he's, oh boy, this is going to bring in the pain if he breaks and runs out here.
Yeah, really nice. Kind of a little bit of a float there with a low ball. Speed is what carried the 2 in.
Yeah. He has a little bit of an Albin style, you know what I mean? Like real smooth and never jumps on anything and very composed, his facial mannerisms.
Yeah, Albin, one of my favorite players to watch when he is in the zone. This is his go-to, the high ball. And you can see why. He just seems to hit that shot so clean. One of the more rare players not using carbon fiber, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And this is true maple shaft he's playing with. It is not spliced. It is not low deflection. It is simply an old school maple shaft.
Another classy run out here. This would be his second breaking run out of the set. That would regain him the lead in this match. Yeah, the scratch on the break. There's 2 racks. Yeah, I mean, so.
There's 2 racks, exactly, from the scratch on the break by Gomez, flying the cue ball off the table. The Viking now up 1.
Yeah, you know, and here we are, we're talking, I'm rattling on about, unforced errors and all that. We're seeing some high-quality pool by both players here. It's no joke.
No, it is no joke, and they make it look so easy. I guess we just start to expect it.
Yeah, that is so true. You get treated to so much great pool here. I'm sure Gomez remembers his last break, so he's going to really lock down aim-wise on this.
Yeah, even if you have to reduce the power a little bit, get back to accuracy. Well, he did not reduce the power.
He did not. Yeah, much like Krause, that corner ball tracked to the far corner.
And he's got a good look at the cross side here. Really carries a natural position. Really no pressure on this shot either, Mark, because you can just lay the cue ball up on the top rail.
Mm-hmm.
You happen to miss the bank, you know your opponent's going to have a long 1.
Yeah, tough to get back on the 2 with a long 1 the other direction.
Yeah, so you just float this in. Really no heat here. Got to expect him to make this. Got it just short. It did fall. It's the only thing there. I feel like every now and then he tends to get a little quicker. His pace over the ball is different at times, where Mickey's pretty much the same every single time. It can promote some uncharacteristic or lazy errors.
Have you ever played Roberto?
That's actually a good question. I'm sure we've played in some tournaments, but really can't think of a time that we've really played.
He's a real pleasant guy to play.
He's a great guy. Yeah, he's
cheerful.
a great guy.
And then, but you got a tiger on your hands as far as his heart goes.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He's a fighter.
And we are 2 balls away from tied at 5.
And both players now have 2 breaking runouts apiece. So out of the 10 games, 4 of them have been breaking runouts.
5-5.
In a great recovery from his last
Yeah.
break.
No,
Did not shy off on the power at all, did he?
not at all. No, he didn't back down. I was agreeing with you that he should make sure. Now, Krause and Ricky Bryant have had some exchange of conversation here through the last 2 racks. Kind of, I don't know if Ricky was explaining some type of technicality with this. Not sure if he wanted the player break or what the circumstance was.
Well, it is a race to 5 from here. There's the TPA. Gomez at 8:49. Krause 8:21.
Pretty high standard. Now, our floor director, Julian, is involved with Ricky Bryant and Roberto Gomez. I don't know what the question is. That's interesting.
And here comes Mickey.
Yeah. Most unusual. Can't be a big deal, though. Everybody seems content.
Yeah, Ricky really staring down the line of the cue ball. And maybe wondering if he was concerned about Mickey being over the line a little bit. I don't know. A lot of power taken off there. Cue ball didn't really get the pop that it needed, but he's going to get one down. Wow, Mark, this is thin.
Yeah. And you're spinning kind of just with hopes of, well, you'd have to hit it thin and just hoping that something happens where you get a position on the 2 of some kind that just play defense. You might play defense right here.
Yeah.
Avoid. No, he was able to go at it. Look at this shot.
Wow.
I'll give him a break. He deserved. Oh, ugly.
Yeah, I agree with you. He definitely deserved a little better rub there.
He's close, though, so maybe he can just barely feather this, leave it there. No, he's playing across the table. Better yet. Got the cue ball down table. Introduced a lot of clutter here. I think Gomez is going to have to come up with yet another big kick shot here.
Yeah, he's looking to the 1 rail.
This can go in off the top of the 3. This can go in clean. This can also get safe, or you can sell out. A lot of things can happen here.
Yeah, really a lot of good things if you can just make contact.
Well,
Look at this. Look at this.
no. Yeah.
Look at this.
You called it. A lot of good things can happen if he makes contact. And there he had a chance to score it a couple ways and a chance to get safe.
Yeah, this is nasty.
This is.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't have much. Did he get away with it?
Yeah. Gomez appears like he has to kick at it.
It seems like he's been doing a lot of kicking this match.
Yeah. He knows this is not an easy kick either. If he goes to the end rail, he can go 2 cushions at that and just try to play speed. But, boy, it's a 50-50 debate whether you get to even the safe that way. He went no spin. Soft kick. Did he get a rail?
He did.
Okay.
He went into the ball first. And his body English tells me the 2 passes here. But I don't know. It sure doesn't look easy. But Mickey sure seems to feel like it goes, so it must play. Past the 3. Oh, he's got it real fat.
It was never an easy shot, but it was one that we thought that he would probably get.
Yeah, and always mindful of the 3, most likely. That's why he caught it a little heavy. Can you avoid the 8 here, Mark?
You'd have to manipulate the pocket a little bit. You have to hit the fat side of the pocket, I think.
I might just be fooled here. Oh, yeah, no problem.
I always say this, on a 5x10, if you stay in line, doesn't seem to make much difference. You get a little out of line, that 5x10 starts to take a toll on you here. It's hard to recover.
Yeah, it's a really good point because it's such a real factor on this table. And that shot coming to the 3rd rail, he didn't get there, obviously, but that shot on this table, a lot more difficult. That's why you guys see them avoid using that line more often than not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got more time for the cue ball to squirt when you're spinning with inside from greater distances. Then he's jacked up and trying to avoid his shirt contacting the 7 ball down there. There's a lot going on with that shot.
Yeah, and this might actually be, and I know we've said this a couple times, this might actually be a real turning point here with the miss on the 4. A really, really good delivery there.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is that shot where now you really got to stretch out there. Once that cue ball goes past the side pocket here, when you're on the other end rail, things can get tough in a hurry. Nice shot.
Yeah, well called, Mark. Real easy to let up there. Yeah, so will that error cause Gomez 2 games? Gomez going to take a break.
One game lead now, 6-5.
We'll be right back.
A timeout.
Well, our players are back, and so here we go. 6-5, Krause. Gomez will be breaking. Coming off a real nice break and run out. Last opportunity. 6 ball is the corner ball. That's the one that's been tracking the 4 rails most often into the corner pocket. 4 and 5 of the ones they tried to make in the side. Cue ball got away again, Scott.
Yeah, another big mishit, and he continues to use that mishit on the consistent side for him, which is our right on the screen. He lost the cue ball last time off the table, this time in the drink.
When it goes directly into the side pocket without a kiss, then that's going to be a breaking error as opposed to a misfortune. And just like you alluded, he's hitting the 1 ball just a little bit to the left of where he would like to be.
Yeah, and that's where you've got to wonder, when do I take a little bit of power off to save the accuracy? He really comes so far back with that break cue. He's got a little bit of a pause and then comes through with all that timing and power, but when does it really start to make sense to maybe take a tick off?
Mm-hmm. Krause could do something with the 2 ball here. There's not much. He looked at the 2-9 combo. That's one of those shots that if you have ball in hand to play the combination with, maybe it's okay. If you're a little bit off angle, it plays really tough. I think he's going to try to play the 2 ball back into the side pocket on the same side of the table he's standing on now. And if he falls short of that, he can still defend himself and play a safety or possibly play a bank.
He's trying to come down to the right side pocket or left on our screen.
Not bad.
No, not terrible. I'd like another couple rotations out of the cue ball, but he should be okay, Mark. This is just a straight low ball. If he wants to introduce an outside, he can, but I think he can just come up between the 9 and 10 and get good on the 3. And he did put a little low on it, or not a little outside.
Ooh, that's going to be really tough to get on the 4.
That's the only reason I wondered if the outside ball was necessary. Just come straight up between the 9 and 10, and you're never risking getting elevated.
I thought he wanted to get all the way over so he could go 2 rails at the 4. So this is treacherous. You can easily foul the 9 ball here if you try to do anything but roll it in.
Yeah, all ball fouls. Did he get the window? And this is going to be problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, and I was just talking about drawing 1 rail up between the 9 and 10, getting more towards the center table where, you know what I mean, where he can just for sure get a look at the 3 versus, look at this.
Nice play.
Jeez.
Nice play.
Does he got a piece of this 4? If he does, it might be choppable. If anybody can do it, it's the man at the table.
He can definitely hit some. He's going to play safe. No, he hit it too hard to play safe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not a bad. It's still a thin cut.
It is, and it's not easy. Cue ball's tracking away from the green 6, but once again, I feel like he just gets down a little quick.
That was scary. scary.
Real scary. I think that outside caught the 4 thinner. Started to turn more than he thought. That's how he caught the thin side of it. Fortunate not to scratch there. Fortunate to get a look at the 6.
Cross corner bank here to possibly continue the run. No, he didn't get position from it.
Yeah, I guess you got to wonder, was he trying to get up behind the 7 all along? Kind of a two-way play, but really, I don't know. Gonna try to use the 8. I don't think he tried to use it like that. Okay. A little grin there from the Viking. And a big grin from Gomez.
It's a dangerous one.
Yeah, I'd almost consider going to the other long rail. And that's why, right? Very difficult to come from this short long rail here.
Yeah. This might not have a pocket. You know, it might be, well, maybe he can play it in the side. I guess he can.
It looks tight, Mark. It looks like he's changed his mind there. Oh, it did go, no problem.
Good shot. Gonna have to draw. It's got that funny little angle. Played it nicely.
Yeah, got a lot out of it.
This would be for the first 2-game lead in the entire set if he can connect on these next 2 shots.
Yeah, Mickey. On that safety, got a little fortunate, caught the point, come back. Really glued to the 8 there.
Yeah.
And Krause opens up a
Nice.
2-game lead now.
Gomez, TPA dropping rapidly.
I want to thank our main sponsors here of the Bigfoot 10-Ball Challenge. Aramith Tournament Balls, Simonis, and of course Diamond.
I don't feel like Mickey's made a lot of mistakes this match.
Not at all. Yeah, the only mistake I remember really that he made that was really egregious is when he tried to get position on the 3 and then he kind of flinched at it. And it was a real tight whether he was going to bump the 8 going into it. He's made a ball on the break. Nice break. Made the 4 balls on the break.
Yeah, that was the most square hit that I've seen.
If he connects on this 1 ball, there's a reward attached.
Yeah, look at this replay. Look how square he contacts that head ball. That's a result of the object ball movement that he received there. Big shot on the 1. And this is too thin.
He overcut it, yeah.
Possibly trying to adjust for a little bit of a grab there, but yeah, that was way over calculated. Is there any value here, Mark, in trying to cross the 1 to the lower left and just bringing the cue ball back up 1 rail behind the 8?
Well, you always got the safety implication from that. That's nice. But Roberto probably going to err towards aggression. Probably just try to two-cushion it back to the center of the table, not past the side pocket, but before. Just like he overcut it doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it just requires so much to do what he did there.
Yeah, your shot, you just play it to overcut it. Just don't hang it up, don't hit it fat, and you're almost assured of a good outcome.
Yeah, it's like a two-way play. If you get the one down, you're good. If you don't, you're most likely going to be real good on the defensive side. Really looks like he's going extremely thin here. Looks good.
Yeah, he played it comfortably, so it must have been a little bit easier than it appeared from our vantage point.
Here he can come out 2 rails if he chooses.
This is kind of the winning shot if you get position here. How's he doing?
Oh, this 7 was always going to be there.
Yeah.
I assumed that he would have come 2 rails tight playing the 6 in the lower right corner, not the lower left. That's where the 7 introduced.
And go a little inside spin, warp it back. Nice hit.
Yeah, he caught the correct side of it.
Yeah, this is a tough shot.
Yeah, here, this is all just cinching the ball, right? The cue ball should track 2 rails. He'll have a good look on the 7, but like Mark said, the shot itself, definitely a tester.
He's hitting downward a little bit, which adds accuracy issues. Oh, nice hit. Good speed. Well done. That was a big rack there. If Roberto doesn't get it, it's going to be a 3-game differential. Here he can be just 1 game behind if he can cash this in. Seemed a little punchy on that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't really get through the ball like I thought he might. So
Yeah, we've seen
tentative.
that. Agreed, Mark. We've seen that a little bit more, right? He even had that flinch on the 7. Still got it down. Your delivery can still be good even though you have that flinch. It's just not good to see. It's a little concerning.
Yeah, nice shot there, but then he overhit it.
Yeah, where is this going to finish? Where is it going to finish? Well, there's where it's going to finish. And this, well, this is just simply no fun. But it's better than ball in hand for Krause.
You always have to look at it like that. Like, well, at least I'm still alive here. Maybe I can make a stunning cut to the side.
Boy, this is tough.
Wow. Tremendous display of shot making there. The position was a struggle all the way through. He just toughed it out. That's the heart of a lion right there.
Well, and you've talked about it, Mark. You get a little bit out of line. You can get a little more out of line.
Yeah.
A little more out of line. And there he was really out of line. But what a big hit there on the 10.
Yeah.
To keep it within 1.
No, it can really slip away there confidence-wise. You'd only be down 3 games if you miss that and leave a pretty routine ball for Krause. And instead, you tough it out, and now you're right in the hunt.
Yeah, and it should actually give him a little bit of confidence, even though the cue ball was on the loose. That shot there was pressure-packed.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's see if he mishits these. I'd say take a little speed off if I was you, Roberto. But he most likely will not. And this is the problem. I really don't understand why you're trying to power the ball so much and lose that accuracy.
Now this is his 3rd scratch on the break. That's a big deal. Very hard to win from there.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you just break him and don't make anything, it's hard for the guy to run out. He's got to do. When you give this guy ball in hand, then you can see how well he stays in line through these. He's got up to well every time so far with starting with ball in hand. These are games that you just don't get to play in. Plus, he's broken right out too, so you can see it can quickly snowball on you. Oh, a missed, an open miss that we haven't seen in the match. And, certainly this isn't easy, but that's most uncharacteristic of the way Mickey has played throughout the match so far.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. Did not expect that. And it looks like he cannot avoid the 9, or can he? I think he's got to make some contact. It's pretty thin.
He clearly is, and this is bothersome. So when you make up your mind, you have to just bear down and make the 2. You can't worry about what the outcome of the cue ball is at the end. You think about it beforehand. You can't try to do both simultaneously, avoid the 9 and then make the 2. It's easy for things to go awry. So you have to be real single-minded about ball pocketing, which he was. And he's got this other. Now this is tricky too, because you have to go through that clutter over there. Playing in between the 10 and the 6. Oh, around. He was okay. Well, no problem then.
Well, it looked like, to me, also, Mark, that he had to go through the clutter, but he did beat the bottom side of it real easily. Nothing fancy here, just towards the center of the table. You can get yourself in trouble by trying to get closer to the 6. No need.
Roberto,
So
it's such a good shot, shot before.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on it, though, and I'm not picking on Roberto, but he gets down on the ball and then swings so quickly. If he just maybe took one more pause, right, a couple of extra seconds to ensure what he's doing, just doesn't look like he's really committed once he's down on the ball.
It's going to play nice. Good speed control. Nice angle to float across for the 9 in the same pocket the 8's going to
I
go.
think he's gotten a little flat, Mark.
Oh, did he? Well, then, my bad. Now he's got to go to the side pocket.
Yeah. Forced to go forward now. We'll stay off the rail here.
Nice. That's as good as he could possibly do from where he was at. Oh, he tried to billiard into the 10, caught it just a hair thin. Now he's close, but boy, this is a super thin cut. Cue ball will have plenty of speed on it. Yeah, what are we doing? He made the shot.
It's good.
Opened up, yeah. Wow, super nice shot.
Krause just 2 games away.
8 games to 6. Shout out to our super fan, Kathy Kroom, up in Buffalo, New York. Glad to have you alongside, Kathy. Tim Myers, Port St. Lucie, Florida, tuned in. Got Alan Oliver back in St. Louis. He's watching.
Yeah, I'd like to say a quick shout out to Jeremy Jones and Carl Boys, a couple friends of mine and colleagues. But Jeremy was going to come up here, has a couple minor issues with some hip issues, but he's going to be fine. Some sciatic issues. Well, pretty square again.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how the object balls react when you hit them square.
Yeah, he's had a number of good breaks in this set. Trying to see if he can possibly reach that. This is that, boy, this is really the 10-footer extracts a toll on these type of things where you have to reach or lean.
Yeah, no doubt. He's looking at playing it to the lower right. I would consider chopping to the lower left and maybe run into the 3 or the 9. But boy, it seems thin to go to the lower right with a low ball anyway. Yeah, I don't think you can go to a low. Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. Boy, this just seems too thin. I don't think you can beat the corner. Well, that's the problem, right? Even if he does beat the corner, I just didn't feel like he could get back over. Cutting it to the opposite pocket, though, with a flat center ball mark where it's easier to make the cut, you might get a better result. Now, there's a reason. I'm up here, though. Well, he hit the side he wanted to, but this is not going to finish like he wanted.
Now, does Roberto have to go forward and 2 cushions around?
He's the type of guy.
Can he stun across?
Yeah, he's the type of guy to like to power it out. See the time he's taking now?
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful shot. Yeah, you nailed it. He knows the match is slipping away. You better get that down.
Yeah, and I just wonder if it's something to do with the heart rate, right? The heart rate gets up and he's not quite able to control the body as much as he'd like, or not quite conscious of it sometimes, just getting down so quickly. Really came with a good long ball there to start this out, though.
You know, in an unusual way, this is a very typical Gomez match. I mean, he wins all his games and half of his opponents in a history of watching him. He's a one of those mercurial talents that can manufacture things, but then sometimes he gives things away doing it.
Yeah, and that's just his style.
I always like Rodney Morris. He's such a character. He scrambles around the table. If he's ever in line, he can't get out.
Yeah.
But if he has to make 3 hard shots in a row, that's where Rodney flourishes.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Jason Shaw, very similar, right? One of those guys that just doesn't like being normal. He's real quick, and the tougher it is, the better he is.
Yeah. All right, big game there, 8-7.
Back within 1 now. It's been back and forth this whole match.
Been a very entertaining match for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, the shot that you described, that you said, well, that's why I'm up here, where Krause is trying to 2 cushion or get to the side rail with draw and the extension. I don't think that's true. I think it was just not the right shot. You know,
Agreed. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the right shot either. That's kind of what I was touching on. I just didn't think you could get where you're supposed to be as thin as it was, as stretched out as he was with a low ball.
The other factor is when you throw like a 8-inch extension or 16 extension, it changes the weight. Now it doesn't draw the same rate, and then your feel and you're stretched. And I think play straightaway safety there. Don't try to force something that's not really there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I was looking for a good defensive play, though, too. And that was kind of, I think, his issue, is he was so close to the ball, but really didn't have a lot of good escapes. I don't know.
3 scratches on the break now. Gomez had really better buckle down now. You see how he aims downward, but then he gets flat at the end. And sometimes he keeps too much height on there and gets that bounce on the cue ball. He did take a little pace off there.
Yes, he did. He took some pace off and real square.
Wow. 4 balls. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I made 4 balls on the break. But now this is not fun. It's win or lose time on this ball right here. He knows it. If you fan it in, you can win. Oof. If you hang it up, pretty much doom.
Yeah, this cut is extremely difficult. You've got to catch that ball going in, and just a sliver of it. Obviously, he's going to use his center ball. I just did a video on this as well. Never want to introduce English on this. The accuracy drops dramatically.
Kind of raised his head up there. I don't know if we could get a replay of that one, but boy, his body gave him away. He didn't like it.
No, and I don't blame him. I mean, it was really thin. You did not have to hit it that hard, but like Mark said, his body gave it away. He was clearly uptight on the shot.
I think he even played it that way with that speed, knowing that he might need an outcome that's different than just hanging it there.
Oof. Okay. Mickey doing his best to allow Gomez back in this match. Wasn't easy.
No, it's nothing easy. Even this one ball is not a certain get.
I believe he can just float by and miss the 10, playing the 4 into the side if needed. Hey, where's he coming? Yep.
Good shot.
Great speed.
So he had to stun that a little bit to get past the side pocket, and that's why he went this route.
And I thought he could play it on the other side, so to your point.
Nice. This is that awkward stretch, though.
It is. He's got to hold the cue ball. I mean, I don't think this is anything to panic over.
How many extensions did he bring to the table?
You know, he needs a couple here.
He brought an extra one. No, he's going to get that out now. We are playing the 30-second shot clock, which he still has at the extension, I think.
Correct.
Not a big deal.
Just killing this ball here. No problem. Yeah, and we are going to be knotted up at 8. It just kind of had the feel of that from the beginning.
Yeah, there it is. 8-8.
Tied up once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Gomez made a great break. He made 4 balls in the break. Did not get a good shot on the 1. Powered up, flinched his head a little bit. They got some separation between them. Left an awkward off-angle 9-ball combination with the 1 for Krause. He hung it up, and Gomez ran out. The score's tied, but I feel like Krause has played just a little bit better.
Yeah, I feel the same.
It's close, but somehow it just feels like Mickey hasn't made the volume of unforced errors.
And something you touched on just a bit ago, that's credit to Roberto, right? Like he can look a little scratchy at times, but he's so talented he can overcome things.
100%. Yep, he's formidable every time I've watched him play. But it's also typical. He does give some games away.
Now we're racing to 2.
Yeah, here we are, 8-8, and winning the lag gives you that first crack at this to get the lead back. Cue ball hopping.
Yeah, mishit. Really tried to overpower that, it seemed a little, but just a little, right? But definitely a mishit.
Yeah.
Not happy with it. Krause. You can drag this with a low outside ball, 2 rails tight, wrapping the cue ball around this corner for position on the 2.
I think he's going inside spin, isn't he? No. Try to go all the way around. What a nice connection there. Huge shot.
Yeah, really big shot.
Now grab the bridge.
Now he's in trouble.
Yeah, you will not be reaching this one.
Extra rotation on the cue ball really got him there because he doesn't have an angle to the 3.
And you don't want to play behind the back here with power. May be forced to. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, he knows that's not good. That's treacherous. This could be trying to manipulate the 2 and behind your back and get position. Just cinch it. Okay.
Yeah, I like the decision, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
He's got a big wall here with the 4, 8, and 5. Can come behind the 10 if he'd like as well.
Okay, great play. Great play. Not giving anything away.
Yeah, big hit here. Got to make contact.
Tried to play at soft speed and introduce what little bit of issue there is. When you leave balls in the middle of the table on a 5x10, it's always going to be tough. So good job there by Krause, even though he probably left a safety return here. Looks like Gomez will just overcut the 3, drop it in behind the 10. Yep. How'd he do with his cue ball? Real good. Nice.
Did he find a window? Gomez tells me he did.
Even so, though, it's still, you got to do something here to defend yourself. This isn't easy. Soft rolling. Yeah. Not bad from where he was at. That's not too bad, even though Gomez can hit this. At least you didn't lose the game with that shot. You hate it when you're playing safe and then them settling out like, golly, I lost with a nothing shot here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he wants to flirt with maybe going into the 6 or go the other way.
Yeah, he kind of pointed like he's going to have the cue ball come 2 cushions down behind the 7. Yeah.
Okay.
1 cushion. Oh, well done.
Really good, right?
Yeah. When you don't have a jump cue, this is a big shot here. Now you just have to hit it and try to pick a speed. You can't defend yourself with this one. Looks at Massaying it, realizes that's going to be a little bit much.
Yeah, the 3 does sit in the big ball position. It's not frozen.
Hell, he is.
You want to kick at it?
Just don't get separation is the only issue with this.
Yeah, unless you hit it like that.
Really good. Yeah, you can't hit it much better than that Massay speed.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, you're double kissing that ball.
Bro's looking at it like he maybe can go down in the corner or into the side. I'm not sure if the side pocket didn't seem like it's possible. It wasn't. Oh, nice shot. Nice shot. Good safety exchange going on right now.
Yeah, he's left Mickey a look at the 3. Obviously not an aggressive look, but from where he was, he couldn't do much more than that, Gomez. Yeah, is this going to have the pace? I don't think so. The first actual look, and it's not an easy one.
You know, this shot, it plays kind of tough, and then trying to manipulate the cue ball. Sometimes you're okay to just roll into the 5 off the 3. Just make sure you get that down, because unless it hits the 5 exactly dead on, you don't get hooked. He's going low. Going to try to draw it back behind the side pocket, which means if he misses, it'll be heavy. Yeah, heavy. Okay, so Krause has got the best of this now.
Yeah, he's pretty close to the 3. What does he do? I don't know that the two-way bank is on. He's going to probably stay on the defensive end, chipping the 3 to the top rail here. Or does he go at the bank? It's okay. Yeah, I didn't hate it. Cue ball's got to settle.
Yeah, you hate the bank to nothing.
I don't know that drawing the ball is the way to go, though. I thought if he does bank that mark, float it with a high outside and come towards the top side of the 9.
If you're going to choose to draw, that's usually because you're trying to expand the cue ball down and play safe, and then if you score it, then this can happen. Oh, look at this.
We both said the same thing.
Look at this.
Smirk of sarcasm coming from Gomez. I don't blame him. It's pool. Well, we played this pretty clever.
What a shot. What a shot that was.
Yeah, that's the old cross the face of the object ball. These guys are so good at it.
Well, he has a shot at the 4, right? He can cut it in.
Yeah, and I got a good look.
You've got to collide into the 10. You don't have the option to try to be cute and manipulate the cue ball around it.
Oh, this is definitely tough. He barely has a whole pocket if he's cutting at it. He was spinning that ball, so it tells me he was a slight bit snookered.
Right. But he hit it quite heavy, so it wasn't like he overcut it, so he had enough room for that. So he got a little more side spin on there than he intended. Now he comes across the shot position line here. Now he's on the thin side just a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to contact the 9, does he? Unless he catches it heavy. Catch the bottom side, it could get ugly. Can he draw above it? I think he can. Yeah, no problem.
He will be getting out the bridge here. There's no behind the back on this one.
He might need 2 of them.
Yeah.
So far. Well, you put a lot of inside on that. Just got there.
He's laughing. Yeah, gotta love his spirit.
Really don't need to do too much here. It's all about the make. Wow. A big flinch in the back arm there. A big flinch.
Kind of double clutched or something there on that 4 swing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to me that his timing is in tune. It hasn't felt that way to me all match, or it has felt that it's not been in tune all match. There's been times he looks good. There's been times he looks questionable. And that is when the timing isn't on.
Well, Krause is playing the 10 here, it looks like.
Yeah, and kind of a two-way, right, Mark?
Yeah, super thin. You got to hit that 7. Super thin from here. Got it a little heavy.
Well, you're right. Super thin. Can he go to the 10 now? And just chip the 7 up towards the back of the 8 or towards the top end of the table and send you on one rail
I think
towards the 10.
That's the best. If you hang the 10, then you can leave a play at it, but it's a long ways away. You know, he's undecided. And by the way, you don't have to call your shot in this 10 ball. It's not like some other 10 balls that make you play your two-way column. Look at that hit. Look at that hit. Great shot there.
Yeah, got the 7 where he wanted it, right? In case he mishits the 10.
Yep.
And Roberto Gomez.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. You know, when you hit it good, then the 7 goes in the right place. When you hit it bad, then the 7 doesn't go in the right place either. It's kind of a funny thing, but he had a pretty big margin of error on that. What a great second look at this shot.
Yeah, 10 was a pretty big ball, not frozen, not near frozen. So any contact with it's going to fall.
That was our premier billiards instant replay.
And you don't have to call the 10, like Mark just said. It's wide open, run and gun.
Well, I think all the pro players, we all like it like that. Like 9 ball, you don't, because there's so many two-way shots, and then it's kind of like you get penalized. And none of us care for that. It's not like these guys are up here lucking balls in all over right and left anyway, so let's get rid of the gobbledygook that doesn't benefit anything.
So does he maintain accuracy and less power like he did last time, or does he really unleash again and lose the cue ball?
He's going to unleash and lose the cue ball.
He is, but he has gotten a nice kiss or received a nice kiss. Really awkward on the 1, going away from the 2 here. Could really pin him up behind the 2 if he'd like, but I just get the sense he wants to stay aggressive. Oh, I like it. He's going to do that. He's looking to get him behind the 2 here, sending the 1 back over.
Oh, good execution there. Good execution.
Yeah, you got to give him credit there, right? Never even entertained the offensive play.
Yeah, if Mickey can hit the lower half of the 1, he's good. If he hits it full, it could be a problem. If he hits it thin, it could be a problem. Hit a little bit full. Okay, so yeah, there was 2 ways it didn't have to work out well. That one way, if he hits the 1 ball just a little bit thinner, it can work out well.
Do you take the steep cut on the 2, or do you try to get back to it somehow? You just take the distance.
Well, he's drawing over here by the 10. Okay. Yeah, he had that. I didn't know that he could get that routinely, so guess this was the most conservative play.
Yeah, work left to do. The 3-6 is available.
Nice hit. What a shot. Hey, Roberto. Just making some really big-time shots here at the end.
There's that quick movement, though. He just gets down on the ball and lets it go. Obviously, when he's feeling it, that's when he does it. As long as he feels good about it, it seems to work.
Now, he created this opportunity from that good safety off the break. He unleashed his break, lost the cue ball a little bit, made a ball, played a good safety in behind the object ball.
Really doesn't have to do anything here. Just smooth the 8 in. Does not want to finish on the rail.
Yeah, you'd think it's either softer or harder. I wouldn't think that would have been the stumbling point.
He was absolutely perfect on the 8. Just a little quick once again. I don't believe he ever tried to get there.
Elevated, gonna have to stun over. Wow. Wow. He'll be laughing now. He knows this isn't right.
Yeah, this is pressure.
Match ball too for him.
No reason to ever be here. Can he get it down?
Yeah, he realizes that transition from backswing to foreswing where he's had his hiccup a couple times. He took a practice swing off to the side of the table trying to be real fluid there. Wow, nice shot.
What a big time shot there.
Art of the Wise.
Yes, he does.
Art of the Wise. Boy. Very entertaining. All right, coming up next, it's going to be Reinhold Corteza. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you again soon. As that is our time for this time, and so long for just a while.